We have a very exciting show in store for you today as we look at the natural and not so natural or perhaps technological ways of improving and maintaining your mind and body. We have iridologist Ronald Delari Simpson on the show to tell us how perhaps we've been arranging our food wrong this entire time and how you can order the food on your plate in such a way that you achieve a perfect balance of acidic and alkaline elements, the benefits of which are apparently many. And as always, we have our resident doctor, Rob Hicks, on the show to answer your most pressing medical questions. But first off, for the technological way of improving one's mind, we have a very exciting demonstration of some cutting-edge virtual reality right here in the studio. It comes courtesy of virtual reality company Tribemix, and it's called ImmersiCare. It's been specifically designed to help those suffering from dementia and includes experiences that intend to stimulate an otherwise confused mind. And incredibly, it seems to work. But for those of you that perhaps aren't familiar with the at times complex field of virtual reality, or why some people are calling it the future of many different fields, including entertainment and medicine, take a look at this short video we put together to explain the ins and outs of virtual reality.
The meaning of the term virtual reality naturally comes from the meaning of the words that make up the phrase, namely virtual, which means near or nearing, and reality, which is the environment that we perceive as humans. In this way, we can understand virtual reality as an environment that is close to our own, but also different in many ways. We perceive our reality through our senses. The classic 5 senses, touch, taste, sight, smell, and hearing, are our primary ways of processing the world, although there are other senses such as balance that also contribute to our understanding of our environment. Virtual reality as we understand it today is largely referred to a computer-simulated 3D environment that uses our senses to immerse us in an experience, a virtual reality. This is largely done by utilizing headsets that shut the user off from the outside world and feature gyroscopic or motion tracking technology in order to track the user's movements and further immerse them in the world of the simulation. But why would anyone do this? The applications to the entertainment industry are obvious, as fully immersive video games and films are becoming increasingly more popular, but the applications of creating virtual realities far exceeds this. Virtual realities are being tested as the next big teaching and training tool that can cut the cost of recreating dangerous or complicated training scenarios in real life. For example, researchers are working into ways of using VR to train medical surgeons, and others are using it to help treat PTSD in war veterans. As we'll see on the show, it is also being utilized to alleviate the symptoms of mental diseases such as dementia. So the promise and capabilities of this technology is only just being tapped into.
And now it's time for Alex Smale of Tribemix VR to demonstrate his new VR software, which has been specifically designed to combat dementia. On with the show.
Welcome to the show, Alex.
Thank you.
So before we have a chat about how you put this whole thing together, I'm going to have a quick go myself. So
Great.
I was just telling you earlier that it's the first time I've ever had a VR experience, so I'm really looking forward to this. So let's just pop this on. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay, you didn't tell me there'll be a shark in the tank.
No, there's no sharks.
What was that then? Oh, it's a dolphin. Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing scary in there, don't worry, very safe.
It's actually very relaxing. Oh, fish. It's actually very relaxing.
Yeah.
Because you've got all the sound of the sea. And like I was saying to someone earlier, this is my favourite thing, like not being at the bottom of the ocean, but being near the sea. Wow.
Yeah, just, relax into it, just enjoy being there.
Yeah.
And there's lots to look at, lots of things happening. The fish all have their own natural behaviours, so it's just like sitting inside a big fish tank.
It's really, really nice. And it actually looks really it looks really real in terms of I can't actually see the end of the sea, if you see what I mean.
And it's 3D as well as VR, so things seem closer when they are closer to you.
Yeah. How many of these do you actually have, or how many scenes do you have?
At the moment we have 12.
Okay.
And we're working on more scenes all the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, this is really weird. You can actually turn all the way?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
If you wanted to, you could actually stand up and walk around. But it takes a bit of care.
Okay, I won't do that because my director will tell me off if I get up and start walking around. Wow.
Now, if you look straight ahead.
Yeah.
Now you should.
Oh, there's a treasure here.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see.
Now, if you look up to your left, though.
Yeah.
You should see a turtle. You see him?
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so weird.
So
I must feel really strange doing this. Oh.
So you can follow him round.
Yeah.
So we can control him in the scene. So we use him for just doing gentle like neck exercises, things like that.
You actually feel like you can touch?
Yeah, because he comes really close, doesn't he?
Oh, this is so nice. Hello. Oh my goodness, this is so weird. I can see how people that can't get out and about would love this.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Or even, I won't be sitting at the bottom of the sea either, really. So this is nice for me as well. So what's in the treasure?
So the treasure, one version of this scene we have, if you look around on the floor, you can see there's bits of other treasure on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
So we use this scene, we have controllers, and we can actually encourage people to pick up the treasure and put it back into the treasure chest as like a gentle form of exercise.
This is so cool. Hang on. Don't let me fall off the chair, guys, right? Oh, wow. Okay, my producer said, be as vocal as possible. And I said, when I see something I like, I tend to go quiet. And that's exactly what's happening, because I just want to enjoy it.
So we've, with this scene, the fish are very, very brightly coloured because, especially the elderly, they're not able to perceive colour as well as younger people. So we've made it deliberately vibrant so that it's really bright and colourful even if you're very, very old.
Well, maybe while I've got this on, maybe we should explain why you put this whole thing. I'm sorry, I can't see you. I just want to keep this on. So that's why you actually put this together in the first place, because you mentioned that dementia patients and elderly.
So the story was quite interesting. We were actually developing virtual reality applications for commercial clients for advertising purposes and marketing. And that was all going very well. But just closer to home, my next door neighbours, Stan and Dulcie, they're 99 and 94 years of age. And they used to be really, really active. They used to
That's amazing.
Walk into town every day to do the shopping. That's
fantastic. I love it. I wanted to keep on, so I felt a bit rude not talking to you, not looking at you while you're talking. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. They were very active. They didn't want to go into care or anything like that. They were very independent. Used to walk into town every day, do the shopping, used to do the gardening, used to do our gardening. They were really hyper go-go all the time. But then, sadly, one day on a trip back from shopping in town, they just ran out of steam and they couldn't make it all the way home. And they just literally were stranded in the street until a nice passerby picked them up and took them home. But the net result of that was they lost all their confidence and just stopped leaving the house altogether. And so, they were going out all the time and then all of a sudden just never left the front room. And this went on for a few months. And then it dawned on me, well, hang on, why don't I create something in virtual reality, because we're doing a lot of that, to give them an outdoor experience without them having the stress of leaving the house. So that's how it began. So I created a beach scene so that they could have a day out at the beach without having to leave the front room. And they absolutely loved it. It was amazing.
What was the reaction like? What was it?
Oh, it's incredible. It's the same reaction we see every day with the elderly people, because so many people haven't actually been outside for sometimes decades in cases, especially with dementia, because people, get a lot of anxiety just going outside. So it's very emotional. It gives me a lump in my throat every day, literally. It's so powerful.
I'm just thinking even people that actually have mental health issues that don't want to go outside, and maybe it's too much for them right now. This could help so many people on so many levels. Yeah,
we're working with people who with paralysis, people with mental conditions. It's actually really amazing at treating pain. So we've seen a reduction in pain twice as much as morphine. So typically in a group of people, morphine will reduce pain by about 30%, and we've recorded 70%. So it's incredibly powerful at reducing pain, and that's been mirrored by another study in America. So we're just about to launch a fully fledged research study with Milton Keynes University Hospital to look into the possibility of rolling this out as an actual
How did you actually put it all together in the first place, though?
So I used to develop computer games. So I have a background in building computer games, and this is exactly the same method and technique and everything like that. So for me, it was great. I could just pick it up and just jump right in.
Yeah.
Which is really lucky.
Okay. What about your future plans for this? Because obviously there's so much that you could do with it, isn't there?
Yeah. I mean, it feels like a big responsibility because it really is helping a lot of people, and so I feel it's my duty to make sure that we can get it out to as many people as possible. So it's an exciting time because we're actually just about to launch the whole thing properly globally. It's been about a year of paperwork. The manufacturer of the hardware, Oculus, have been working really hard to set up a global distribution deal for us to allow us to ship it to anywhere in the world and have people there to train their staff and to set it all up for them and support them along the way. So it's super exciting.
Must have been a lot of hard work though, would you say? What kept you going?
It's really simple, like seeing the reactions every single day. I drove 3 hours this week actually down to a place just to do a demo for 45 minutes with just a handful of old people, 3 hours back, and it was worth every minute of the drive.
Wow. Anything else that you have in the pipeline at the moment? Apart from this, or is this like the main thing that you're doing? Because you obviously look like a very creative person that you've done. Or is it all hush-hush at the moment?
No, I'm an open book. No, we're just focusing on the kind of the main areas we've been in contact with. So dementia is a big area, pain relief is a big area, and paralysis, spinal injury is the kind of 3 main areas we're working on at the moment. But we hear people from the autism side of things, wanting us to work with them, and so we're kind of starting to explore lots of avenues really. Wherever it's useful is great. We want to try.
Brilliant, Alex. Thank you so much. It was an amazing experience. And actually, I want to see if I've got time to. Do you have any of the other ones on here?
Yeah, I'd love to show you more.
Can I see another one?
Have you ever been to see the Northern Lights?
No.
Would you like to?
Yes, please. I'm travelling. Everybody. Okay, I see a fire. Okay. And the moon. Oh, there's a tent. Oh, is that where I'm sleeping? Okay.
That is, yeah.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
Can you see the lights?
Oh, yeah. This is amazing. Oh my God, this feels so real. I really want to get in that tent and have a nap right now. Oh. I keep forgetting to look around. There's so much depth to it.
Yeah, this is it. It's
and there's
everywhere.
some big trees in front of me, which I absolutely love. Well, I'm a nature lover anyway, so. Oh, what's in the pot?
Nice beef stew.
Nice. Okay, let me see. And there's a boat behind me. A canoe, right? Is that a canoe?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Can I see the beach one as well?
Yeah, that's it. I've got another one as well, which would make you. It's a lot of fun. We can take you up into space after the beach.
Okay. We've got a couple of minutes, so I've got time. Oh.
This one's really relaxing.
So that you've got 12 so far, and then you're going to be developing more?
Yeah.
More different. Any requests that you've had from people?
It's all requests.
Oh, this is just so much. This is so nice. Oh, wow. Oh, this was like the Maldives. Oh, this one's lovely. This is what I need in my house. Oh, but...
How's it making you feel?
Really relaxed. I actually feel really, really relaxed right now. One of the things I love to do is actually sit on the sand on the beach. It's the one thing that really, really relaxes me the most. Let me see what's behind me. Oh, wow, look at those trees. There's palm trees everywhere. This actually looks like a place that I was in for, on holiday once. See how I find it hard to talk and then to look at this at the same time. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't want to do the rest of the show, everybody. I'd just like to stay here for a while.
Right, let's take you up into space. This one's fun.
Oh, bye, beach.
The space one's really relaxing as well.
Is it?
If you're scared of heights, this might come as a bit of a shock, but just give it a second.
Okay. Oh. Oh, wow.
When the music kicks in and...
Yeah. This one actually feels quite emotional. I don't know if it's because of the music, but it's just so calm and...
This is actually one of our most popular scenes because,
Really?
yeah, they love sitting and
Oh,
watching
wow.
the countries go by underneath them.
You can see the edge of the Earth and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What's around other planets?
Yeah. You're right next to the International Space Station.
Yeah. Do you get people crying when they have these on?
Yes, actually, they're so happy. There's one lady in particular, she hadn't been outside for maybe 15 years because of her condition.
Gosh.
And the happiness it gave her was just overwhelming for her. She was just so happy, she was crying.
Alex, this is absolutely amazing. I can't even describe it. You have to actually experience it for yourself to see how beautiful it is. Really amazing. Wow. But I'm not going to cry, even though it's quite much. It's fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Wow, amazing work, Alex. Thank you so much for sharing this. This is going to... Sorry, how's my hair, everybody?
Not too bad, actually. Not too bad. You got away with it.
This is going to go so far. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming and sharing this and giving me a brilliant experience as well.
Oh, my
and I'm
pleasure.
sure everybody in the studio wants to have a little go on this because, yeah, I want everyone to experience this before you go, Alex. Thank you so much. All right, guys, so don't go away because after the break, we'll be catching up with Ronald Delari Simpson, who'll be showing us how to achieve perfect acid-alkaline balance in our food. Plus, as always, Dr. Rob Hicks will be answering your most pressing medical questions on Doctor's Answers, such as this one. What could be causing pain in the left side of my head and ringing in my left ear? Find out the answer after this break. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone. So we hope you've been enjoying today's program, and I personally have had a great time having a go on the ImmersiCare virtual reality headset that helps those battling with dementia. But now we have Dr. Rob Hicks with us on the show to answer all of your medical questions. Hello, Rob.
Hello, Chris.
Lovely to have you back on.
Always great being here in the studio.
So obviously we do love to answer our viewer questions, don't we, Rob? And by the way, if you have a question for Rob, you can email us on doctor@chrissybshow.tv. So the first question for today, we've got our tea ready, by the way, haven't we, Rob?
You can't beat a cup of tea.
Just solves so many problems. Right. Number one, what could be causing pain in the left side of my head and ringing in my left ear?
Wow, that's quite a starter of a question, isn't it? Well, the sort of things that I would think about with regards to those symptoms is one, are the two symptoms being caused by the same thing? So, for example, if you've got a blocked ear through earwax, it could be painful, it could be uncomfortable in the head, and it could also cause ringing in the ear. But then the other thing is these could be totally different symptoms related to different conditions. So the other thing that causes infection, for example, could cause both symptoms, or it could be a separate item. Migraine might be causing the pain in the left-hand side of the ear, and tinnitus is what you're describing, and again, infection and a blocked ear are the commonest causes of tinnitus. Although saying that, nowadays with people listening to music very loud, particularly if they go to a rock and pop concert, they can be left with the ringing in the ear as well. So the bottom line is, with these symptoms, you need to have a checkup with your doctor to try and identify whether the two symptoms are caused by a single cause, or whether actually there are two different things going on. What I would urge you is, if you've got other symptoms like a fever or any blurred vision, or you feel nauseous or lightheaded or dizzy, or you get any weakness in the muscles in your face on one side or in your limbs, then don't hesitate to get urgent medical advice.
Brilliant, thank you, Rob. Next question. This viewer's asking, what exercises can I do if I've had a lung removed?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Can they exercise?
Well, yes. The answer. The question is really, how recent. So have they recovered yet, or are they only a week after surgery or 2 weeks after surgery? So if bottom line is, they will be advised by the person who did the operation how quickly they can go back to exercise, and once they've fully recovered, how much exercise and what sort of things are appropriate for them. Generally speaking, when you've had major surgery, like you would have had for this, once you're fully recovered, then you can exercise in whatever way you feel able and comfortable doing, providing your surgeon or your doctor says that that's okay. If you're recently through the operation, then well, in the first week of being discharged, then really just sort of walking a little bit around at home is probably as much as you'll be able to manage. When you get into sort of weeks 2 and 3, you could potentially do a little bit of light housework, so washing up, for example, but no heavy lifting or pulling or pushing. And again, you could do some walking and gradually build up. When you're sort of 4 to 8 weeks post your operation, then you can think about some sort of light shopping, light gardening, for example, and again, increasing the amount of walking that you do within your limitations. Generally speaking, by about 8 to 12, a person is usually fully recovered from the major surgery, although emotionally they may still feel very, very fatigued and under the weather. And at that stage, activities should be practically back to normal. And if you've done exercise before, then you could go back to those exercises. Again, providing that the surgeon or the doctor who's looking after you says that that's okay. But remember, when you do go back to your exercises, or the sports you've done before, go back gradually, because essentially you've had a major operation with a lot of time out, so you need to build up very, very gradually.
It's good that they actually want to get back to exercise as well. It's a good sign.
It's a very good sign.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very positive sign, really, because after major surgery, people often, although physically they've healed, emotionally they can feel really quite low and fatigued. And so this person clearly has the motivation. Yeah. They're asking the question.
Brilliant. Next question. This person's asking, what can I do about my constantly swelling feet?
Well, the first thing to do is to find out why it's happening. I mean, if it's both sides, the majority, it sometimes happens if you're standing for long periods of time, or indeed if you're in a very hot climate. So you need to get a diagnosis to make sure that it is something related to lifestyle that's causing the problem, not something related to heart failure, for example. Simple things to do: compression stockings, elevate your feet, your legs as much as you can, keeping the feet above the level of your heart. Do exercise, lose weight if necessary. The other thing is you may need to be advised to reduce your salt consumption. Many people, when they've got a collection of fluid in their limbs, they stop drinking, thinking that actually not drinking is going to, they don't want to add to the fluid. But in fact, it's the counter that happens. You need to drink because that actually helps clear the fluid. And then nighttime, if you can, and it's comfortable, put some books or bricks at the foot end of the bed to prop it up, so that again your legs are elevated, and that will help the fluid drain back towards the heart rather than pooling in your legs. But the key thing to do is get a diagnosis as to why it's happening.
Okay, thank you, Rob. Next question. How long am I contagious if I have a cold or the flu? I have a lot of work to do and don't want to fall behind.
Well, something jumps out at me about that. There's a person who's feeling a rush to get back to work, and with a cold, and indeed certainly with the flu, rest is one of the key ingredients to getting better quickly. Okay, so don't pressure yourself. With a cold, you're infectious until all the symptoms have gone, and so that's usually around about 1 to 2 weeks. With a flu, you're infectious from the first symptom usually to about somewhere between 3 days and 7 days later. So if you want to avoid spreading those infections, they're both viral infections. When you cough and sneeze, do your best to cover your mouth and nose with a tissue, which is disposable, and then you get rid of it, and then you wash your hands. And if people around you want to try and avoid picking up your infection, then they should wash their hands frequently too, and indeed stay away from you, certainly when you're coughing and sneezing.
Okay. Next one, Rob. I've been having hormone trouble. Could it be to do with the pill? If so, what are the best forms of contraception for people with hormone trouble?
Well, the first thing I want to know, what does the person mean by hormone trouble?
It's not much.
So that's the sort of question. So what does it mean? Because people use the word hormone trouble for different things. It might be that actually they're getting mood swings. So maybe that's the case for you, or maybe you're getting a lot of sweating. So when you see your doctor, and you'll need to, about this problem, be prepared for your doctor, he or she, to ask you, what do you mean by hormone trouble? If it's because you're getting sort of breast swelling, for example, or some bloating or mood swings, that are possible side effects of the pill, and you've been on the pill for at least 3 months, because often these side effects will settle down after a period of time, then your doctor or family planning expert may suggest a change to either a different type of pill or a non-hormonal pill. So it might be a coil, for example. But the other things to think about is it totally unrelated to the pill? Is it hormone trouble because of a thyroid problem, for example? So those are the sorts of things that are flicking through my mind. And when you go and see a doctor about it, be prepared to answer those questions.
Okay, and another question, Rob. Why are some people allergic to jewellery?
Well, because many people are allergic to many different things.
Yeah.
So, and for some people, it is jewellery. It's often nickel in jewellery. It's why you'll often hear people say only buy people proper gold jewellery rather than the nickel. What happens is that somebody who's genetically predisposed to being allergic develops something called, essentially, it's contact dermatitis. It's an allergic reaction to the component within the jewellery. Often it's nickel. What happens on the first contact is the body becomes stimulated such that the immune system, that's the system in our body that protects us from things, wrongly thinks that the nickel is a threat. So it then, on subsequent contacts, it then attacks it. It releases the histamine, which causes the itching and the redness and the swelling. So that's why some people are allergic. Essentially, you're predisposed to it, and then if you get enough contact with the what's called the allergen, and for people with hay fever, that's pollen, then you develop the symptoms. So, and the way to treat it really is either to avoid, obviously, the culprit jewellery, and if you have got a rash or irritation, then use a suitable cream.
Okay, one last question for today, Rob. This person's asking, how can I get rid of my hives?
Well, hives, it's like nettle rash. Yeah, they're big red wheels on the skin, and they're often itchy. A couple of quick things to think about. One is, while you're getting rid of them, try and avoid whatever it is that's triggering them. If you can try and identify that. For some people, it's food. Sometimes it's contact with chemicals, etc. Maybe a lotion or a shampoo. But antihistamine tablets are very good at treating them. Sometimes the doctor will recommend a course of corticosteroid tablets or other medication. And then you need to think about, if it is itchy, soothing the symptoms. So calamine lotion, aloe vera, something with oatmeal, or even menthol based creams are very, very good. But with hives, you need to identify ideally what's causing them. It could be a side effect of medication, for example, and then you can avoid those as best you can.
Yeah, that's it for today, Rob. Thank you so much.
Great questions, aren't they?
Yes.
Wow.
And we'll see you again next week.
Thank you.
Thank you. And don't forget, if you have a question for Dr. Rob Hicks, all you need to do is email us on doctor@chrissybshow.tv. Well, after the break, we have on iridologist Ronald Delari Simpson, who'll be explaining how you can achieve the perfect balance of acid and alkaline foods on your plate. We'll also be treated to a performance by singer-songwriter Michael G. McDermott of his brand new track, Older, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to reduce anxiety. But first, can you tell me, starting in 2016, how much is the UK virtual reality market expected to grow by 2020? Is it 60%, 200%, or 390%? Find out the answer after this break. Chrissy B, and my show is all about improving your mental health and being happy. Join me every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 10 p.m. on my channel Sky 203. Visit chrissybshow.tv for more information and subscribe to our YouTube channel Chrissy B Show. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Chrissy B Show, and on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone. So we hope you've been enjoying today's program. We've had a demonstration of virtual reality software ImmersiCare, which has been specifically designed to help combat dementia. So it was really great fun, and it's very promising technology. We also had Dr. Rob Hicks on to answer your medical questions, and now I'll be chatting with Ronald Delari Simpson, who's going to show us how to get a good balance of acid and alkaline in our plate. But first, before the break, I asked you, according to Statista, starting starting in 2016, by how much is the UK virtual reality market expected to grow by 2020? Is it A, 60%, B, 200%, or C, 390%? Well, I can tell you that the answer is C, a whopping 390%. That's right. The industry is set to nearly quadruple in size and go from being worth £46 million to £354 million. But now we welcome back Ronald Delari Simpson onto the show so he can tell us how to perfectly order our food for maximum impact. Welcome back to the show, Ronald.
Always delighted to be here.
It's lovely to have you on because you always give us some really fascinating facts about food, and
great.
you know I love having you on the show. So today we're talking about how to get that balance.
Acid
right?
element, yeah.
Okay.
What I'd like to do is as a prelude to why, there's always a reason why you should do something.
Yeah.
The statistics are really alarming. In Europe and in America and basically in England as well, once you reach the age of 70, right, 1 in 3 will get cancer. 1 in 3 will get arthritis or some sort of joint pain, and 1 in 3 will get dementia or Alzheimer's. Right? The age of 70 is amazing because 92% of men over 70 cannot lift 10 kilos over their head. Right? So it's very important that what is the relationship of cancer and joint pain and dementia to acid and alkaline balance, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to show you the actual slide. The pH is an interesting word. That's called the power of hydrogen, right? It's an ion, which is like a small amount of electricity, right? So you'll notice it's red here, and at 7 is neutral, right? Now, this is very, like sulfuric acid, hydrochloric acid, very heavy, right? And then from here is alkaline. Now, the human body is 80% alkaline. That's designed that way. 80% alkaline, 20% acid. If you get that right, you just stop, you slow aging down, you stop aging, and you just keep going. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, the problem is that we're supposed to be about 8.
Okay.
As a balance, right? Now, when you drink water, you're actually drinking about 6.8. So you're drinking a lot of water, like tap water. So you are heavily involved in that 6.8. So you're more acidic, which is causing problems already. And then when you move to the next stage, which is like acid foods, you can vary anywhere from 3 to say 6.
I thought water was good for you.
It's not when it's tap water.
Okay.
It's got to be preferably alkaline water. Alkaline water will take you about 7.4, 7.5.
So when we look on the bottles, should be pH?
Very few bottles are alkaline. There's only one company that I know of that is at 7.4 guaranteed.
Okay.
And if you drink that every day, like 2 or 3 litres, your whole body becomes 80% alkaline, 20% acid.
And if you'd like to know what that company is, you can get in touch with us on info@chrissybshow.tv because we're not allowed to say it on the programme, but I'll get Ronald to tell me and then I can let you guys know.
Fantastic.
Okay.
So let's look at the next slide. So now, what happened is the symptoms of acidosis, which means that the 20% has gone out of whack. So if instead of being 20% acid and 80% alkaline, you are now at 30% acid, 70% alkaline, and so on. Right? I've seen people that have become so much acidosis, they're actually 80% acid.
Oh wow!
And 20% alkaline. They've got joint pain. They've got reflux. They've got central problems like sleeplessness, headache, loss of consciousness, coma, muscular problems, intestinal problem, respiratory problem, heart problem, all of that caused by this excess acid.
Okay.
Once your body moves away from 20% acid into 25%, 30%, 40%, you are already starting to get diseased.
Gosh.
You're not at ease.
Okay.
You get it? Let's look at the next slide. Now, this guy there is a famous guy, Dr. Otto Warburg. In 1931, he won the Nobel Prize winner for cancer discovery. And look what he said. No disease. Right? The word disease is interesting. You're not at ease. So you've got dis-ease, you see. No disease, including cancer, can exist in an alkaline environment. How powerful is that?
Wow.
In 1931, he said that. And he's been proven right again and again and again. And he won the Nobel Prize. So this guy was very smart. So I picked up on that. So then I'm going to show you the next slide about how you achieve that in this alkaline environment, right? Now, as I said, you need to have 20% acid forming and 80% alkaline. There's nothing wrong with acid as long as it's
The right
20%.
quantity. Okay.
And then alkaline. That's got to be the pattern. Now, every patient I've ever seen is usually the other way around. Right?
Okay.
Let's look at the next one. Now, I'm going to give you a bit of a pattern. Now, for example, a balanced meal, 20% acidic, 80% alkaline. Now, there's nothing wrong with sardines, but it's acidic. So you have to look at the sardines and say, okay, it's acidic, so that represents 20%.
Yeah.
Now, what I found to be the ideal combination, you eat the sardines, but then that's the 20% acidic, and then what gives you the alkaline part is raw cucumber with the skin on.
Yeah.
Must have the skin on. Broccoli lightly steamed, red cabbage raw grated, 20 ladies' fingers or okra lightly steamed, right?
Yeah.
And then you add the absolute grace period, which is you then have the parsley, the thyme, ginger, basil.
Okay.
When you combine that, you are getting the absolute maximum digestion to get that 20-80%.
Okay.
You get it? Now that's one type of chemistry. The other type, next one. If you do rice, for example, we do a system where we do 40% brown, 40% red, and 20% wild. Okay? Now, but that will produce acid in your tissues. But so you have a plate of rice.
Yeah.
Then what you do is you have a large amount of kale. Kale's phenomenal. Carrots with the leaves on. You can cook the sleeve. Beetroot with the leaves on.
Yeah.
Aubergine or eggplant, and then the herbs for that. Chives, coriander, mint. When you have that, you have a very good tasty meal, and you again in balance. You notice we change from sardines to rice.
Yeah.
The rice will be acidic, sardine will be acidic, but the rest of it is balanced accordingly. These are the best combinations, right? Okay, next one. Now, going back to that, so remember what I said. When you drink water or you're out of balance, what actually happens is that you're going to be like about 6.4, which means you're acidic, because remember 7 is neutral.
Yeah.
So that is definitely acidic because it's on this side of the ledger, right?
Yeah.
But if you're there, that's where your food should be, 80%, right? And you can have some foods that'll take you to 14, like some really green foods, like dandelion leaf. It'll give you very high alkaline. So later on I can give you another talk where we actually show you the most advanced foods for high level alkalinity. And then the foods that give you more acidity. For example, if you're eating a certain type of hamburger with lots of butter, lots of fried foods, you are looking at about 4, 5. Which, if you're eating just that and no salad, you are really straight into the acid.
So it's not that you can't have certain things; it's that you need to balance it.
You need to balance it.
The alkaline stuff.
And by the way, it needs to be balanced at breakfast, at lunch, and at dinner. Because if you have, let's say, a lot of acid foods at breakfast, you're already acidic. You must complement the alkalinity at breakfast. So you can, otherwise at the end of the day, when you add the acidity, you might be at 30% acidity, 70% alkalinity. It's got to be breakfast, lunch, dinner, balanced 20-80.
But Ronald, for this sort of average person that's not going to really sit there working out, okay, I need 20% of this, 80%. It's quite a lot to kind of calculate. Is there another way of sort of knowing whether you're having? Good
question. I'll explain it to you. There's your stomach, which is here, basically is your two fists. Okay, there's the two. If you look at a baby, if you look at a big guy, that's the stomach. That is your stomach, right? Okay. So the very easy way to do it, you look at, say, meat, fish, chicken, sardines, turkey. That's how much you eat. 2 knuckles. Okay. So basically 2 knuckles, right? It's not much. That's right. So 2 knuckles, and then the rest of it, like those 2 here and those ones, is vegetables or fruits.
What about the carbs though, like the rice and the...
Well, when you eat the rice, that all goes into the acid part.
So the meat and the... Really?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of carbs are acidic.
Yeah.
Right, so it'll fit in there.
I have to cut down.
Right? If you've got a big stomach, you could have, say, 4 knuckles and about vegetables and fruits to 80% like that. Because vegetables and fruits, herbs, are alkaline. But meat like fish, chicken, turkey and so on, acidic. Okay. Good for you, but you've got to maintain that 20%.
Yeah, okay.
If you go to America, right, the plate's that big, right, and the T-bone's that big.
Yeah. Oh.
They're already way out of balance. Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So I was interrupted. Did you have any other scales?
Well, the thing to remember. No, that's it. Yeah. So, but the main thing to remember is that always try and eat from 7 up.
Okay.
Like I said, fruits, vegetables, herbs. Mm-hmm. That's why we add the herbs. And that's why I recommend to all our patients to grow their own herbs. Even if they grow 6 to 8 herbs, and then even during winter, you can have chives, you can have coriander, you can have parsley, you can have mint.
Yeah.
Herbs are very high in alkaline residue. So the more herbs you take with your food, the more chance you are getting in that area.
And there's no limit, is there? Because
no limit.
Like 20, 80,
No.
but you can actually, doesn't matter if you eat more veg and more.
What you remember is, just remember this, any meaty stuff, like I said, meat, fish, chicken, turkey and so on, rice, carbohydrates, even oats, cornflakes, acidic.
Okay.
Fruits, vegetables, herbs, alkaline.
And what about sweet potatoes? Is that also?
Potatoes is alkaline.
Oh,
sweet potato is alkaline. Yeah.
Oh, it's alkaline.
Sweet potato is alkaline.
Oh, sweet. Oh, so it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so I can have
that. Sweet potato is a strange one. It's alkaline, but if you take a white potato,
it's acid.
It's acidic.
Okay.
So if you take chips like crisps, acidic. Okay. If you eat sweet potato, alkaline.
All right, so I can have lots of that because I like it. That's really good. Ronald, thank you so much. Fascinating as usual. Yeah. And I should definitely trying to apply as much as I can because I do like my chicken and my stuff, but I will be cutting down.
Balance it.
Yes, I will balance it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, guys, so don't go away because after the break, we'll be treated to a wonderful performance by singer-songwriter Michael G. McDermott, and I'll be giving you some tips on how to reduce anxiety. Welcome back to the Chrissy B Show, everyone. Now, we hope you've enjoyed the variety of today's well-being guests. We had a wonderful demonstration of some groundbreaking virtual reality technology from Alex Smale, creator of the ImmersiCare headset that helps to immerse those with dementia in calming and relaxing environments, and I absolutely loved it. And we also had Dr. Rob Hicks on the show to answer your pressing medical questions. And now it's time for my tips on how best to reduce your anxiety. So my first point is to slow down. So it's been found that severe anxiety symptoms are often linked to poor breathing habits. So when you find yourself anxious, just stop and breathe in and out slowly so that you don't end up hyperventilating. So that's the first thing. Breathing is extremely important. The second point is to speak to someone who can actually help you. So I know when I felt anxious or panicky, I used to have a few people that I would go to talk to feel calmer. So first it was a couple of friends, and then it was my pastor at church who used to advise me and help me. So you really need to find someone that you like, and importantly, someone that you trust, and talk to them. And I know sometimes it might feel like, oh, well, I don't want to bother this person, I don't want to be needy, but that's why you have to be quite picky about who you choose to be this person, because you may actually need to call them quite a bit or turn to them quite a bit. So make sure it's someone that has the time, make sure it's someone that you know doesn't mind, because the worst thing is when you're feeling bad about something and you're feeling panicky, and then the person that you're actually speaking to isn't really understanding and doesn't really know what to say. So it would actually be a good idea to maybe choose someone that has been through what you're going through. That's a really good point, because they understand what it feels like. They're more likely to be sympathetic and to be able to help you. So I used to particularly ring people when I was either about to have a panic attack or having a panic attack. So I had a couple of people that I would call at that time. So that's just a tip for you. The third thing is to deal with what is making you anxious. So when you've taken some time out or spoken to someone and you are actually feeling calmer, you really need to identify what it is that's actually making you anxious. Now, for some people, it's very obvious. They know exactly what the problem is. They know what's going on. And for you, if you do know what it is, you really need to start putting measures in place to actually deal with that anxiety. However, there are people that aren't actually sure what it is, what's causing them to be anxious, what's causing the panic attacks. And that's where you may need a bit of extra help, whether through counselling, talking to a friend or family member. It's really, really important that you sit and think about what is making you anxious. What is it that you're doing at the time that when it starts to bring on those feelings, what are you thinking about? Is it maybe even some certain food that you're eating that could be making you feel that way? Because we have our nutritionists on every single week, and they talk about how food and nutrition is linked to mental health. So really identify what it is. Once you know, then start taking steps to get rid of that anxiety. It's not that you're going to have a stress-free life, but at least you're putting things in place. And actually that leads me on to my fourth point, to keep anxiety at bay. So like I said, you're not going to have a stress-free life where, everything's always going to be good, it's going to go smoothly. We're all going to go through things at some point. Things are going to happen that we're not expecting. But it's really important, as much as you can, that you don't let things build up in the first place. So as one thing comes in, as a difficulty comes in, deal with it and be ready for the next one, and tackle things step by step. And also it's really, really important, as we've said, to look after yourself, make sure you're exercising, make sure you're having a good diet, try and sleep well, take the rest that you need. All the usual things that we speak about on the show are extremely important for keeping anxiety at bay. So for the final part of today's show, we'd like to show you our final performance from singer-songwriter Michael G. McDermott. It's been absolutely wonderful showcasing his music on the show. And here he is for one last time for now with his song, Older.
You're complicated. You leave me hanging on your every word. But you keep on keeping me going, though my age has started showing. And you're sophisticated. I can't compete with all the words that you say, but I try not to worry about it. I know you'll see that I get it when I start forgetting the things that should be doing. Won't you write them on the wall? Make sure I don't forget it. And I'm just getting older. Yes, I'm just getting older. They said that it's not getting wiser, yeah,
Thank you very much to Michael there. So we have reached the end of today's program, but if you have a story that you would like to share, or you'd like to give us your comments about today's program or our past episodes, please do get in touch with us. We love hearing from you, our lovely viewers. You can email us on info@chrissybshow.tv. You can also tweet us at Chrissy B Show, or leave a message on our Facebook page, The Chrissy B Show. And if you'd like to know more about me, you can visit my website, which is mylifeafterdepression.com. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Hi, my name is Carla, and Kimberly has challenged me for the MHD challenge. I take the challenge. Here we go. Woo. Okay.